Imagine the person you loved most in the world goes through the worst experience of their life, and then you are faced with a choice where every possible answer feels wrong. That was the situation one man found himself in. His girlfriend had been assaulted. She was traumatized, broken down, and struggling to even talk about what happened. He stayed beside her through everything: the panic attacks, the therapy, the emotional breakdowns. But then, 2 months later, they found out something that changed everything. She was pregnant. And there was one thing they both knew for certain: the baby wasn't his. The couple had been together for years, and before this happened, they had built a life together. The assault happened while he was away abroad for work. When he found out, he immediately returned home to support her. She was in a terrible state. She didn't want to report what happened. She didn't want to go to the hospital. She didn't want to speak to anyone about it. He couldn't force her, so instead he did the only thing he could. He stayed. He listened. He tried to help her heal. They started therapy and slowly she began to cope with what happened. But then came the news neither of them expected. She was pregnant. And suddenly the trauma wasn't something that happened in the past anymore. It was something that would affect the rest of their lives. Well, at first, they both agreed on one thing: they would get an abortion. But then his girlfriend spoke to her mother, and after that conversation, everything changed. His girlfriend was a devout Catholic, and her mother convinced her that keeping the baby was the right thing to do. Her reasoning: the baby was innocent. The baby didn't commit the crime, and because of that, she wanted to keep it. But this is where the boyfriend faced an impossible decision. Because while he understood her feelings, he knew he couldn't raise a child that was connected to the worst moment of her life. A child that would constantly remind them both of the person who hurt her. So he told her the truth. He would support her, he would always care about her, but he could not help raise that child. He gave her a choice. Either she kept the baby and he would leave, or she chose the abortion and they would try to move forward together. She begged him not to go. She wanted both. She wanted to keep the baby and she wanted him. But he felt like he had reached his limit, so he ended the relationship. And afterwards he started questioning himself. Was he being selfish? Was he abandoning someone who needed him? Or was he protecting himself from a future he knew he couldn't handle? When he posted his story online, people were divided. Some people told him he was cruel. Others said he had the right to decide what kind of future he wanted. But then, a few days later, he received a phone call from his ex-girlfriend, and what she told him completely changed the situation. She was crying. She asked him to listen. She explained that after he left, she called her mother again, and this time she admitted something. She didn't actually want to keep the baby. She had wanted an abortion from the beginning. The only reason she changed her mind was because her mother pressured her. Her mother told her that abortion was unforgivable. She told her that if she ended the pregnancy, she would no longer be her daughter. The guilt became overwhelming. But after thinking about it, his girlfriend finally made her decision. She told her mother she was going to have the abortion, and immediately her mother blocked her. The girlfriend called him because she needed him, not because he forced her into anything, but because she finally felt like she could make her own decision. She told him that she appreciated him standing his ground, because deep down she knew she wasn't ready to raise a child connected to the person who traumatized her. The two of them talked. They agreed that they had not manipulated her, and despite everything they had been through, they still loved each other. But the situation, however, wasn't over, because then something happened that made things even worse. A few days later, police officers showed up at his door. They wanted to speak to his girlfriend. They separated the two of them and started asking questions. Was she safe? Was she being controlled? Was she being held against her will? The reason? Someone had reported concerns about her, and that someone was her mother. Her mother believed the boyfriend was forcing her daughter into an abortion, but according to both of them, that wasn't true. Her girlfriend had made the decision herself, and now, instead of supporting her daughter after everything she had gone through, her mother was making the situation even more painful. The girlfriend decided to call her mother and ask her to stop, but the conversation quickly became emotional. Her mother told her that if she went through with the abortion, she would lose her family. She threatened to cut contact with her, but she told her she would be punished spiritually for her decision. The girlfriend broke down, and once again the boyfriend had to comfort her. Despite everything the girlfriend went through with the abortion, beforehand she spoke with counselors and medical professionals. She was tested for health concerns, and after making sure it was truly what she wanted, she had the procedure. When she returned home, she cried, not because she regretted her decision, but because after months of fear, pain, and uncertainty, she finally felt like she could breathe again. She told him that a huge weight has been lifted, that she could finally start rebuilding her life. The couple took some time away together. They went camping, it rained, but sitting together they talked about everything they had survived. And despite how horrible the situation had been, she felt like she had made it through. She felt stronger. Eventually, her mother called. She wanted to know if the abortion had happened. The girlfriend didn't know what to say, so she handed the phone to him. He told her mother that the abortion had gone successfully. Her mother became very angry, and before hanging up, he simply said, "How Jesus of you." Looking back, the story wasn't about choosing sides. It was about two people trapped in an impossible situation. A survivor trying to regain control over her own life, and a partner trying to support her while also being honest about what he could and couldn't handle. Because sometimes there are situations where nobody gets the perfect ending, only the ending they can survive. Anyways, guys, that was the story. Let me know what you guys think about it. Did he do the right thing by leaving, or should he have stayed and supported her no matter what?